Got Rich Kaplan to join me on this segment. And this segment, I really get kind of emotional about. I grew up in Boston, being a Red Sox fan, but this is the weekend that Mike Piazza is going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. And I get emotional because, my son, growing up, I really didn't want to be a Red Sox fan because I didn't think it would be fair living in New York. Well, obviously I didn't want to be a Yankee fan, but I embraced him being a Met fan. And when he was very young, just started to get involved in being a fan, when he was 11, 12 years old, the Mets got Mike Piazza. And that really made the Mets relevant again. He was a superstar. And I'll never forget the day it was my son who told me, Dad, the Mets got Mike Piazza. And it was 7 years of just phenomenal baseball. And it's so great to see him going into the Hall of Fame as a Met. Rich, what are your thoughts on the great Mike Piazza?
I think it's long overdue. I think that Piazza was larger than life. He was an amazing catcher, an incredible human being. He was an amazing hitter. He could pretty much do it all. And I love the nickname Pizza Man because it fits him perfectly because he was special in so many different areas. And I think that Piazza going to the Hall of Fame is a very big deal for New York. It's a huge deal for the Mets because he is one of those 86 oriented players where, you look back at that period and you look at what they accomplished and you look at what Piazza's accomplished and you kind of put one and one together in some ways because he's just an incredible athlete, amazing human being, and just a very gifted player overall.
The thing that my most endearing memory of Mike Piazza was, after 9/11, baseball took 10 days off, and the first game back, it was so emotional, and it just had to be that late in the game, Mike Piazza hit, the game-winning home run, and that just elevated his popularity in New York to almost like a mythical figure. And I'll never forget this comment that Mike Piazza made, and it shows to me the character of the man. He said, I don't really like to be considered a hero. To me, the heroes are the policemen, the firefighters, and the first responders who some gave their life and others spent countless hours at ground zero. To me, that defines Mike Piazza, the man. Your thoughts, Rich?
I couldn't agree more. I think that without a doubt, that comment will resonate for years. I think that it showed the character of Piazza as a person. It showed him, he could have taken that and hogged that limelight and said, oh, I did it for New York, I did this for New York, I did that for New York. No, he left it with the people that deserved it the most, and that was the firefighters, the first responders, and the police officers. 9/11 is a period that will forever transcend New York in so many different areas. When people visit New York, they look at New Yorkers as resilient. They look at us as being almost phoenix-like, that we rise from the ashes. Well, in a way, that's exactly what Piazza did. He, by making those comments, allowed a lot of those first responders and those people who were in dirt, breathing God knows what, to rise from the ashes and say, Piazza's on our side, the players are on our side, let's do this for them, let's find these people, let's bring them home, let's give them closure. The littlest thing motivates humanity, and what Piazza did motivated humanity so much that to put him in the Hall of Fame is the only reward that is just, in my opinion, and I am so proud of him.
Another memory I have of Mike Piazza, and it shows you how popular he was actually when he had left the Mets, and he came back as a San Diego Padre, and I'll never forget it. Another legend was on the mound, even though he wasn't great with the Mets because he was past his prime and done in by injuries, but pitching for the Mets that night was Pedro Martinez, and Piazza came up, they gave him a standing ovation, and he hit a home run. He jacked one to deep left field at Shea Stadium. And the whole crowd erupted, standing ovation. And for 5 minutes, they were screaming, Mike Piazza, Mike Piazza. And to see an opposing player And then he did it again. He hit another home run off Pedro, and they did the same thing. It just shows you the popularity and how totally beloved Mike Piazza was in New York.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mike Piazza is New York. You look at certain players, like you look at Nomar Garcia-Pia, he represents Boston. You look at Big Papi, he represents Boston. Then you look at Mike Piazza, he represents New York. He is New York. He is the epitome of what a New Yorker is. He is resilient. He is someone that gets up when he's knocked down. He is someone that does not take no for an answer. He is someone that goes out and gets the job done. And that's what you want in sports. It's what you look for. You look for stories like this. That's why you watch sports. That's why I watch baseball. Because I'm inspired by the players. I'm inspired by their personal stories. And Piazza is a man who is very simple. He is very humble. I believe he is the perfect epitome of what a Hall of Famer is supposed to represent. I believe very strongly that the players and the press got it right. I believe that this is going to be a very big step forward for the Metropolitan organization in general. I think that the Mets, hopefully this will spur them to play better and hopefully get some world championships.
All right, very well said. And from everyone in New York, we say these final words to Mike Piazza. Congratulations for going into the Hall of Fame. And most importantly, Mike Piazza, thank you.